Hi guys, we are going to try and make geodes with alum and white glue. So if you have that material, you can try and make these ones. So you'll need eggs, you'll need pointy scissors, you'll need some food coloring, a lot of it. You'll need some alum, and alum is it's like a pickling salt, and you can find it at the bulk food, at the bulk barn. And you can maybe find it at the grocery store too, in the pickling area or the canning area or the spice aisle. I'm not sure if it's there though. And it looks like big salt granules. Okay, you need some boiling water, so you might want to use a kettle for that, or microwave or pot. You need some spoons, you need an egg carton, you need lots of paper towel, you need some white glue, and you need a paintbrush. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to get your egg, and we want the eggs to be cracked lengthwise, not in half like how we would do it if we were baking, cracking them on a bowl, but we want them to be oblong. So what Paige is demonstrating here is with the pointy scissors, she's going to tap a little hole in the top, and she's going to be very careful about doing it so she doesn't have the egg kind of explode everywhere. And then once she gets that little hole in, she's going to put the egg in the bowl so we don't waste it. We're going to make pancakes for tomorrow. And then she's going to take her pointy scissors and she's going to cut around the oblong shape. So you can see she has that little hole. So now she's just going to do a little snip, and it's okay if there's cracks there. Don't worry about that, but you're going to go slow and steady. And the reason that we are cutting the eggs this way is because geodes in nature are often circular and oblong. So they're kind of like wide oval shaped, and this will give more surface area for the crystals to grow on. So she might want to get her egg bowl now, so we don't want to waste good egg. You can see we've been trying this experiment for a while. I will tell you, this is my second attempt at this experiment. We tried it yesterday. We did a few things wrong, so I'm redoing it. And I'll tell you the things that I did wrong so you don't make the same mistakes that I made. So once she carefully cuts the egg in half, then it's very important to wash it out with warm water and get the membrane off the inside of the egg and really pat it nice and dry inside. I use a tissue paper. I don't even use a paper towel because it might be too rough, to tap out any extra moisture, because if you leave moisture inside your egg, then there's a chance that it could grow some mold, and you don't want that with your geodes, with your crystal geodes. So you can see that it's splitting in half beautifully. Now those rough edges along the side, you want those because you want the crystals to grow on there. So now we're going to take it over to the sink, and we're going to wash it out very carefully. Okay. All right. So I'll hand Paige. Do you want to wash it, or do you want me to?
I can wash it.
Okay. So she's going to put on some warm water. I'm just going to wash it out and make sure she gets that membrane out, being very careful. And then once she's done that, she's going to just take some tissue, because we found that was the best thing to dry them with. And she's going to dry them off, getting any extra moisture out of there. Okay. And I'm trying to dry them now. Okay, so maybe tap. You don't want to crack them at this point. Okay. And once they are dried out, then so she felt to see that it's nice and dry. We're going to take our white glue. We're going to put a dab in each eggshell. We're going to paint the white glue on, and then we're going to sprinkle a lot of alum. Okay. All right, right, good. So let's take our eggs back over to the table. Sorry for this unprofessional sort of filming. It's not the best. Not a professional YouTuber yet. Okay, so I'm going to pass the phone to Paige. Okay, so now I have my dried off eggshells. I'm going to make, or try to make, 6 geodes. This one's still a little bit wet, so I just want to maybe dry it out, because like I said, moisture will cause mold, so we don't want that. Okay, so we're going to take our white school glue and we are going to put a dab of glue in each. Now, I should have poked a hole in the top because yesterday it didn't work, so I really want to make sure it's dry. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so way too much glue, so I'm going to put it in some of the other eggshells. I'm being very clumsy today, I don't know why. Put some in that eggshell and that eggshell. You have to work very gently with these eggshells because they could crack quite easily. Okay, so now I'm going to paint. See, I can already hear it cracking, so I have to hold it very delicately. Okay, so we're going to do this with each of the shells. Paint, paint, paint. You want to make sure to get glue at the top too. I forgot to tell you that part. You want to get glue along the edges, okay? And then once you have painted the inside of all your eggshells, you're going to take your alum and you are going to really give a good sprinkle. Now see how I'm almost filling up that eggshell? I'm just going to swish it around, and then I'm going to put it in this other eggshell, and I'm going to go back and forth just so it really gets coated. Now here's the mistake that I made the first time that I did this experiment. You have to let these dry actually for 24 hours, 1 full day. I didn't do that the first time, so my experiment didn't work. But then when I went back and researched, I found out that I only let mine dry for 1 hour, and it actually has to be 24 hours. And I think it has to do something with when you put the water in, if the glue and the alum aren't dried and adhered to the eggshells, it kind of melts it all. So make sure you don't make the same mistake. Let this dry for 24 hours, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, so it is 24 hours later. We let the white glue and the alum dry for 24 hours, and so now it's time to make our solution. So with our solution, you need some boiling water, and you need to pour 2 cups in. So I have a 2-cup measuring cup here, so there's 2 cups. And I have a huge measuring cup here. It's actually 8 cups, but I'm gonna go up to the 2-cup mark. And that means I will have 2 different colors of geodes. Now, for the alum solution, you will need 3/4 cups of alum for 2 cups, okay? So I'm gonna scoop my alum in here. So this might help you determine how much alum to buy. If you only want 1 color, you just have to buy about 1 cup worth of alum, because you need enough to sort of put it on the eggshells at first. Okay, so there's 3/4 cups. I'm going to dump it in here, and I'm going to stir, stir, stir. You might have to stir for quite a while for that alum to be dissolved. And then when you're done that, you have to add 30 drops of food coloring. 30 drops. So I was thinking that I wanted to make a purple geode, so it sort of looks like an amethyst. So we know that blue and red make purple. So I'm gonna put 15 drops of blue, 15 drops of red, and see how that sort of works out. Okay, so I'm stirring, and we want all of, can we see this? We want all of that alum to dissolve into the hot water. We don't want any crystals left. Okay, so we're gonna stir, 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 stir. You have to stir for quite a while, actually. You'll be surprised how long you have to stir. Okay, I still see some crystals left, so I'm gonna keep stirring. They're almost gone. And while I'm doing that, I might as well do my other one. Oh, wow, perfect. Okay, 3/4 cups. And I'll get that going as well. And then 30 drops of food coloring. Okay. Now, if you ever find that it's not dissolving, you can pop it into the microwave for 30 seconds to reheat that water, and that will help the crystals to absorb into the water, because hot water will really absorb the material that you're putting in. Okay, so it looks like all of this is absorbed, so I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. These squeeze bottles are perfect for measuring out drops. I'm just wondering if I add the red. What do you think, Paige? Should I add the red? Yeah? Okay. I don't want it to ruin the color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now we have 30. Now what we're going to do with this solution is we are going to cool it. Doesn't quite look purple, but it actually looks like a beautiful indigo color. So I'm happy with that too. So we have to cool this solution for 30 minutes. I will tell you, when I did the experiment the first time, remember I told you it was a flop? One of the mistakes that I made is I didn't cool the solution and I poured it into the eggs hot. That doesn't work. So let this cool for at least 30 minutes before you pour it in. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay, so it is 30 minutes later and our solution has cooled down. You don't want to wait too much longer, because if it gets really cold, what you'll notice is the salt will start to drop back to the bottom of the measuring cup. So you don't want to wait too much longer than 30, maybe 40 minutes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour our solution into cups, and then we're gently going to push the eggshells down with a spoon. All right, so I'll do 3. I'm not in love with this color, so maybe I wouldn't recommend mixing colors like I did. I'm finding it a little dark. I was hoping for a brighter purple, but that didn't happen. So I have enough to, that bright blue would have been so pretty. But oh well, it's all about experimentation. Okay, and so now I made orange, so I put mostly yellow drops. So I put about 27 yellow drops and 3 drops of red. I think that's actually the mistake I made when I mixed those. I put too much blue drops and not enough red, I think. However, I don't really know. Okay, so you need enough solution so that your egg is completely submerged. So I will take 1 egg and I'll put it on a spoon, and I'm going to gently put it in there and gently sort of push it under. Can you see that? Until it goes to the bottom. When they're forming crystals, the eggshell has to be at the bottom of the solution. It has to be covered completely. You should see my house. It's like completely covered in eggshells everywhere with solution in them, because Like I said, I've tried this experiment a few times because I want it to work really well for you guys. So we should probably talk about what geodes are. Geodes are a really, really cool rock that they're pretty plain on the outside. So if you were to ever find one in nature, it would look like a plain old rock. A lot of them are sedimentary rocks. But then if you crack them open, and they're usually an oblong sort of circular cylinder shape, well, not cylinder, spherical, I should say. If you crack them open on the inside, they have beautiful crystals inside that can be bright purple or bright blue. I encourage you to go on Google Images and look up geodes. They're absolutely beautiful. They are created in hollow areas such as animal burrows or in tree roots, and they can also be formed in the bubbles of volcanic rock. So that's where you can find them. I would like you to look on Google to see if you can find any in Canada and in the Algoma region, and get back to me with your answer on that. So we are going to oops, oh no, I put some blue dye in there, darn. Let me see if I can fish that out real quick. Okay, we have to let these sit for 18 hours. So right now it is noon at my house. So if I added 12 hours, that would be midnight, but then I have to add 6 more hours. So these should be ready, right? 6 a.m. tomorrow, I'm thinking, because 12 hours added is midnight, and then another 6 a.m. So that's what time I actually get up to feed my dog. So I'm gonna check these out, and I'm going to see if any crystals formed. I'll see you tomorrow morning. All right, so this experiment is the first one that I did with the alum, and I didn't think it was going to work, so I redid the experiment, but voila, it did work. And actually, if you look at the geode, let's go into the sunlight, it looks even better. So you can see that crystals did form, and they're pretty cool. Oops, pretty cool actually. So that's that. So remember I said I would see you in 18 hours? Well, here's the ones that have been sitting for 18 hours, and I'm not quite seeing the crystal formation, but I'm going to fish them out and see what we've got going on here. And I might have to let them sit longer. So, I don't see much of anything going on. Like I said, this is kind of my first time doing this experiment. So I would let them sit for a few more days, and I'm gonna put it back in the water, just like these ones sat for a few more days. And you can see this green one too is starting, and if you feel it, oops, I just poked a little hole in it. What we need is all the water to evaporate so the crystals build up on top of each other. So leave it for a few days and see what happens. And send me your pictures and contents. Okay, have fun.